Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Fat Jocks. Welcome back. Thanks so much for listening. So happy to have you listening. If this is your first time listening, go over to Apple, give us a 5-star review, subscribe on YouTube, do all that good stuff. Help us out a little bit. If you do like the podcast, send us in an email. You want us to talk about something specific? Email us at FatJocksPod@gmail.com. That's where you're going to want to email us, FatJocksPod@gmail.com. Other than that, sit back and enjoy the ride. Mr. Brian Vokey, what did we talk about this week?
In this episode, our no shit segment, Bruce continues his love affair with Trevor Bauer. Trevor Bauer made a decision. He came to the LA Dodgers. We discuss it. We also break down the Super Bowl. We talk about Tom Brady. We spend a few moments with some of the most heartwarming content on the internet, and that is our friend C. David Baker, the CEO of Canton, the NFL Hall of Fame, knocking on doors, letting people know they're in the Hall of Fame now. They got their gold jackets. It'll make it makes Stone Cold Steve Austin cry. We talk about the 2021 class of the NFL Hall of Fame, Calvin Johnson, Peyton Manning, Charles Woodson, John Lynch. We break down some of the more ridiculous bowls that have happened in college football history. Most of them are actually around now still. We salute Pedro Gomez and Marty Schottenheimer and all that and more. Please like and subscribe. Enjoy the episode.
Personal foul, 69, offense. He was giving them the business.
This fat son of a bitch. He's fat.
Hey, I'm just here so I don't get fined.
He's fat.
Playoffs? I just hope we can win a game.
He's fat.
I'm a man. I'm 40.
I couldn't care less about the team struggling.
Dude, how you feeling, Brian Vokey? You good?
I'm a little melancholy. Like right now, I got to tell you, I've fallen a little out of love with the NBA in the last couple of years. The last year
Same.
I really loved the NBA was the Isaiah Thomas playing with a broken hip for the Celtics. That team with Marcus Smart and, a rookie Jason Tatum, like who looked like a newborn deer out there, just learning how to use his legs. I loved that team so much. And
Was it because you felt hopeful?
It wasn't that I felt hopeful. It was just Isaiah Thomas had this old school energy where it was like he had lost his sister during the playoff.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
And his hip was messed up and the team was more scrappy. It was more about the play calling and the energy and the effort. And the team is much better now. They've been better every year since then. But I don't know. I hate to say it because I think every player should have complete control of their career. I'm not a guy who thinks that the owners have control over the players. So they should be able to do what the Brooklyn Nets are doing. They should be able to do what the Miami Heat did, but it does make it a little harder to root for the sport when all these super cluster teams come across. And
realistically, there's 5 teams in the NBA?
I mean, right now seems like 3 to me. It seems like it's just the Nets, the Lakers, and the Jazz. And
it's funny that you give that kind of warning of like, look, I think you should be able to do what you want. I don't think that I understand what you're saying, but what you're going to be like, no, you fucking stay there. Yeah. God damn, you do what you're told.
Yeah. Well, that's how that's the kind of sports fan I was raised to be.
Yeah, so you sit there, you respect the game, you respect your team, and you don't bitch. That's your whole thing. That's the whole thing.
I'm very pro player, and it's taken a lot to get to this point. But what my point is that it's a little melancholy because it's like right now I gotta force myself to get into the NBA because football's over, baseball's not happening.
This is the worst sport. This is the worst sports time of the year.
Yeah, and like I gamble on basketball every single day, literally every.
Every single day.
Literally every single day.
Every day I put money in some cryptocurrency and I'm up like $23 and that's the best day of my life. I can't imagine gambling every day.
You don't think I bought some damn Bitcoin with the money I'm winning off gambling in the NBA?
You're buying Bitcoin $3 at a time?
Try a hundo, baby. I'm pretty damn good at this shit.
Yeah, right. I call you and you're like, God damn it, I lost $3 today.
Yeah, but we don't talk every single day of the week. I'm
You're
literally
right.
gambling
Excuse
every
me.
single day of the week.
No, dude, you
No,
got to get on that Nano. Nano's that new crypto shit, dog.
Well, I mean, my Bitcoin, I put 100 in at 35,000. Now it's at 47,000. So
That's good news.
yeah.
You put $100 in?
Yeah, I put 100 in.
Yeah, I see. It's funny because I put 150. I put 150 in Nano, so it has to skyrocket for me to even make like $100.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so it's time to focus on the NBA, and I guess I can get into. I mean, are they even doing spring training this year?
Yes, so that was the thing, is that apparently the Cactus League I think it was the Cactus League in Arizona put out a thing of like, maybe we should start late. We think we should start late. And then the MLB was like, fuck you, bitch. We are starting on time. MLB is 100% right now. As far as I can tell, MLB is 100% committed to starting on time. What the MLB has said is, damn it, I wish I had this pulled up, but I don't. Last year, there was a lot of, I think there was something like 65 canceled games because of COVID. So right now, the MLBPA agreement that they just put in is that it's going to be 7-inning doubleheaders, which they had last year. Apparently last year, something like 12% of games were actually part of doubleheaders. So that's kind of the new things that the MLB and the MLBPA agreed to recently, is that it's 7-inning doubleheaders. They're finally doing the runners on second during extra innings. They're doing that again, which I
explain
don't
that.
like that. Do you remember how they did that last year? So starting in the 10th inning, if your team is hitting, you have a runner on second base starting from 0 outs.
That's stupid.
Yeah, it's softball rules, but
that's not how you speed up the game.
I don't understand what's the deal. I've constantly said this, but the MLB is constantly shooting themselves in the foot all the time. It just doesn't make any sense. They totally disavowed the universal DH thing. So they're not doing universal DH, but apparently, so they're doing the runner on second base. So last year there was 78 extra inning games. The longest were 2 different 13-inning games in Houston. So they're trying not to make sure that people aren't playing like 15, 19 innings of a bunch of bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
Right. But that's not, see, this is what they're focusing on, the wrong problems. That's
absolutely
not nearly a majority of the game. Where the problem is in between pitches. Like,
yes.
You know, Hank Aaron he was talking about that a lot at the end. He was like, if I could change one thing about the modern game, I'd speed it up.
Yeah, everybody wants to speed it up, but they have no way to do it. What people don't want is the second baseman pretending his shoe is untied every other pitch so that the person in the bullpen can get a few extra reps before they have to come in.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they limited mound visits. They
limit mound visits now. A pitcher has to face at least 3 batters, because I mean, before a pitcher could throw 1 pitch and they could come out and change the guy again.
Madden, he was the man for that.
Yeah, and that's it's pure gamer type shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's not like it's illegal.
Closers in the first inning and shit. Was that
dude, Madden is the guy. Madden, that's why I initially, this is kind of bringing us into our next thing. That was why I thought Trevor Bauer might go to the Angels. It's because Trevor Bauer might go to the Angels. Is that Joe Madden is known for things like hitting the pitcher in the 8-hole, starting a closer, like to throw 1 or 2 innings at the very most. Like, just that was just kind of shit that rubbed off on Dave Roberts, because Dave Roberts will do a lot of that shit too, and throw a pitcher in the first inning
until last year. That was why he was so criticized. Everybody said he was another Billy Beane. He was just Mr. Analytics, and he didn't know how to actually manage a team to a championship.
Yeah, which is right, because he blew it how many times, and then now that he won, people are like, okay, let's give this guy a shot. And dude, I'm living in a good place. You're talking about being melancholy. I've never been happier with my sports right now, dude. Trevor Bauer to the Dodgers. I was saying, what did I tell you? What did I tell you, pal? I told you he's going to.
Told me that they were going to go to the Blue Jays. You told me they were going to go to the Mets. You told me he was going to the Angels. You told me he was going to go maybe to the Dodgers.
What did I say? The first thing I said when the Padres started.
Matter what the order was. When you predict everything, of course you're going to win.
Hey, dude, a broken clock's right twice a day, pal. The first big thing I said, the first like end all be all statement was that if the Dodgers do not sign Trevor Bauer right now, once the Padres are making that moves, then they will not win the NL West this season.
Well, that's another team, the Padres. You said he would go there as well.
I said he might go a lot of places. That's his thing, dude. Well, here's the deal. Cause me and you had been texting a little bit about this contract breakdown, and it's actually the opposite of what I initially thought. The way I initially read this contract was that it was backloaded for a 3-year contract, and that the longer he stays, the more it's going to kind of benefit him. But that's the complete opposite thing.
Not an ass man.
Complete opposite of what I thought. It's $102 million guaranteed. 2021, he's making $40 million. That's the highest AAV of all time. 2022, he's making
That's
45.
higher than Trout?
What's that?
Oh, yeah, no, because Trout is like a 50-year contract. That's right. Never mind.
I think it's either the highest AAV now, or it might be higher than Trout. I'm actually not 100% sure now that I make a very blanket statement. $45 million in 2022. And then like $17 million in 20. It's basically a 2-year, $85 million contract.
It's baseball. It's the Dodgers learning the lesson finally that, you don't give a guy at age 29 a 13-year contract.
You don't give anybody a 13-year contract. That's that. Honestly, what this contract shows me is a million different things. Trevor Bauer, Rachel Luba, his agent, big time babe, geniuses.
I got a text from a listener to our podcast who said, after Bruce talked about Trevor Bauer's agent, I looked her up and damn, she is so fine.
Hell yeah, dude. That's the kind of information I'm trying to spread. Dude, this is okay. So this is what I've learned from reading into this contract. I love contracts. Is basically this is a 2-year, $85 million contract. But because of baseball's So Trevor Bauer can opt out after every single year. This is an unbelievable contract negotiation by Rachel Luba. He can opt out after every single year. So he can opt out after playing 1 year for $40 million, after playing 2 years for $85 million, or after 3 years where the contract is up where he plays for $102 million. So it's literally only getting $17 million in 2023. So what people are saying is that this is basically a 2-year, $85 million contract, because if it was actually that, he would go crazy over the luxury tax. The Dodgers would, because luxury tax, which means it's something like if your payroll is too high for a year, you get taxed on every single dollar you spend above the luxury tax.
Mm-hmm. And what's the luxury tax at right now? Do you know roughly?
It's like 205 or like 210, something around there. I can't remember off the top of my head. But the reason they did that 3rd year for that like $17 million is because that brings the overall AAV down.
Right.
So they're not paying too much over that luxury tax. So the luxury tax is calculated at the AAV of every player. The 3rd year lowers Trevor Bauer's AAV for luxury tax purposes from $42 million a year, if it was an $85 million 2-year contract, to $34 million, which saves the Dodgers a lot in luxury tax. Year 3, literally just for luxury tax purpose. Even if Trevor Bauer gets hurt in 2022 and misses all of 2023, he would still get more than 1 year, $17 million as a free agent needing Tommy John surgery. People are saying there's no way he opts out into year 3 under any circumstances. I wouldn't be surprised. The Dodgers have done this to a few people. If the Dodgers just fucking rode him to the ground over the next 2 years, which they should. They should let him throw for every 4th day for the next 2 years, even if that second start, if that 4th day is out of the bullpen, they just should get everything that they wanted from him.
Right. That's so much easier to do in baseball because, like it's easier to be an old man with, I can't really move my elbow very much, as opposed to where the Packers rode Brett Favre into, a different IQ category.
Yeah, into I don't remember how to get home category. into what's my address category.
Yeah. What's my age again?
Yeah, literally.
But so basically what Trevor Bauer did was what you do with MLB The Show, essentially. Just took a fat ass 2-year contract.
Dude, you know me and MLB The Show. I take fat 1-year contracts, bro. Dude, okay, so then this is all I've promised to stop talking about Trevor Bauer probably 50 different times on this podcast.
There's no reason to. Why? Who cares? It's not bothering anybody.
It's not bothering anybody. now that he's signed and now that during the season it's not bothering anybody. But if he's just sitting around and I'm like, who knows what he's going to do every single week, that's probably bothering a few people. But this is the last time we're really going to spend too much time on Trevor Bauer, other than during the season whenever he does something like writes Bush did 9/11 on the mound or something hilarious.
Yeah, he puts in cursive with his cleats, "Stop the steal."
Yeah, I mean, dude, which is kind of, I think what we were talking on the phone about the other day is now he's turned into one of those players where if he was on any other team, I'd be like, what a fucking asshole this guy is, huh? But now that he's on my team, I'm like, you just don't understand him. You don't understand how you don't understand his mentality.
Oh, he's an individual.
Yes, exactly. But this is interesting. I talked to you today about it. You said you weren't familiar with the Trevor Bauer spin rate freak out a few years ago.
Right. Now, I now that you say that just now, this was a Verlander thing, right?
It was mostly a Garrett Cole thing.
Where he was saying that the spin rate, there was no way a human could achieve that spin rate on a ball without
any kind of doctoring of the baseball. And when I say doctoring of the baseball, I mean pine tar or some kind of sticky substance, which there's a lot of them, dude. People are boiling Coca-Cola and all kinds of different shit, dude.
Mm-hmm.
So Trevor Bauer has basically said he's done years of independent research and different science. Dude, he's insane.
Yeah, he sounds like Mike Lindell right now.
Yeah.
I've done years of independent research.
Yeah, he sounds like Jesse Ventura. I'm off the grid. I'm doing independent. Chris Kyle ruined my life.
There is no way their spin rate could be achieved by a natural human being.
Yeah, you need Jesse Ventura. He basically just needs to team up with Jesse Ventura to figure out exactly what's going on. But so basically a few years ago, he was saying there's no way that anybody could achieve this. And I've researched this quite a bit, years of independent research, similar to Trevor Bauer, that Bauer isn't crazy in this thing of saying pitchers and other players in the league say something around 75 to 85% of pitchers doctor the baseball in some way, whether it's pine tar, whether it's something. But the MLB doesn't shine a crazy amount of light on it because it's something everybody does and they don't want everybody to get in trouble. So you'll see it every now and again where a pitcher will get ejected from a game and then suspended a few games for having pine tar on their hat or on their neck or on their whatever. And that type of thing will only happen apparently if one manager feels that that pitcher is doing that too deliberately, if he's not making an attempt to hide it enough. Does that make sense?
That makes perfect sense.
So if a pitcher even if he doesn't like a pitcher, let's say I don't like you're pitching for another team, and I don't even know specifically that you're doing it. I'm just saying that everybody does it. So let's say I'm going to fucking hit up Vokey by having the umpire come out to the mound and check him for a foreign substance.
Mm-hmm.
So Trevor Bauer has been bitching about this forever and being like, these guys are all cheating. Everybody's cheating, whatever. And then basically being like, I'm the only one who doesn't do this. And to prove a point, there was one inning in 2018 where Trevor Bauer's spin rate jumped by something like 500 for one fucking inning. He had one inning where it jumped by 500, which is unbelievable.
Rotations per pitch.
Rotation per minute. So it goes from something like 2,400 to like 2,900.
Damn.
And basically the easiest way to break it down is the more it spins, the more it moves, the harder it is to hit.
Absolutely.
So Trevor Bauer, what he was going crazy about was that Garrett Cole was decent, coming off his worst year of his career on the Pirates. The Astros are like, hey, we could bring this guy over, give him some of our silly stuff, and he's going to become the best pitcher. Basically the Jordan water bottle in Space Jam. Give him some of that stuff, and then he's going to become the best pitcher in baseball because we can tell by his throwing style and that he's going to fucking crush it.
Wow. I didn't even know. So I didn't even know that part was I knew he was accusing Verlander, but I totally forgot, I guess, with the two different scandals, the batting scandals with the stealing pitching signs, plus the doctoring the ball. Damn, there's some nasty bastards down there.
Dude, so 2019, Trevor Bauer has the worst statistical year of his career in Cleveland. That's when he was doing really bad. That's whenever he threw the ball over the center field fence and Terry Francona freaked out on him and traded him basically. So
Shout out to
2019
Francona, World Series winner with the Red Sox.
fried chicken lover. My man Trevor Bauer in 2019. What?
Watch your language.
FCL, dude. So 2019, Trevor Bauer is averaging around 2,400 RPM. That's 94th in the league. That's very average, painfully average.
Mm-hmm.
So he's having the worst statistical year of his career. 2020, what does he do? He wins the Cy Young. 2020, he comes out. What is his RPM average? 2,800 RPM. That's 400 more. That's the highest in the league.
And did he talk about this himself?
He basically, okay, so whenever he got called out about that one inning, he didn't say, hey, I did this. Hey, I didn't do this. All he said was that there's this one guy who wrote this article about people doctoring baseballs. Like, let's say the guy's name was Brian Vokey. He said, all I can say is you should check out this article by Brian Vokey. It's a good article. So he's basically brought attention to the world of like, hey, I doctored baseballs to show you how crazy people are and how much extra spin rate they're getting. So 2020, he wins the Cy Young, has the highest RPM in the league, and jumps by 400. Like Garrett Cole.
Highest RPM in the league?
Yeah, from 94th to 1st.
Dude, I love it.
And that's when he's doing all of this, walking around the shoulders. He's doing the Bush did 9/11. He's pretending to drink beer on the mound.
The Steph Curry shoulders.
Dude, unbelievable. So so Garrett Cole, after he went to the Astros, his average RPM went up 200. It's just crazy. So this is what, after he shit all over everybody, when Bauer had increased his RPM by 300 just for one inning, just to kind of show people what it's really like. Do you know what I'm saying?
And how did he get busted? Like, baseball fans are nuts. Is there like, are all the spin rate stats released later that day?
They're like, all those things are tracked in real time by crazy fans. Like,
spin rate? How do you track spin rate as a fan?
It's probably actually not by fans. It's probably by analytical departments of different teams who then in turn release it to the public, because that probably by baseball rules has to be public knowledge, something.
Wow. So it's probably, and then it's all the fantasy nerds.
Of course.
Like, his spin rate was unbelievable.
Baseball, I think, is the sport that you can nerd out about the most.
Yeah.
Because of the analytics. Analytics.
Yeah, like football, you can have all the analytics you want, but somebody's still gonna break your collarbone. You know?
Yeah, baseball there is such thick analytical departments at each team. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, that's interesting.
So into the story is, welcome to Dodger Town to my good pal Trevor Bauer. We're happy to have you over around these parts.
What part of town do you think he's gonna live in?
Dude, right next door to Clayton Kershaw, whose house I've been to before because I delivered California Pizza Kitchen to his house. That's why I don't trust Clayton Kershaw, just because of the simple fact that he eats California Pizza Kitchen.
What's wrong with CPK? I like it. They're a sponsor of the show.
Dude, if you if you have a $250 million, I've said this before, if you have a $250 million contract and you order food from California Pizza Kitchen, you need to figure it out. He could afford to have a California Pizza Kitchen in his house.
Yeah, but maybe that's just what he likes. You know what I mean? Like, listen, if you gave me $250 million, you think I'm gonna stop eating Chick-fil-A? You're crazy.
Not at all. No, I understand that. And that puts things into perspective for me.
Did you watch the Super Bowl?
I did. I watched the Super. What did you do? What did you do for the Super Bowl?
I ended up watching it. I didn't watch.
You ended up watching. Do you watch it by yourself on the iPad?
I watched it by myself in my room, but not because for any reasons other than COVID restrictions and responsibilities.
Okay. See, I had a very COVID safe Super Bowl gathering of people who had either been tested or see, this is the kind of thing that I do, is that I only hang out with people who have been tested or are having sex with people who get tested.
It's kind of Hugh Hefner rules.
Yeah, exactly. 100%.
Yeah.
So, dude, I had some people over, and you know me, dog. I made some fucking wagyu meatball subs, sliders, dude. Some stuffed mushrooms.
I imagine you're the kind of guy
wings.
who brings out a tray full of wagyu meatball subs, and you go, "What are you guys eating?"
Yeah,
That
that's
guy-
a great dad joke that I wish I would have made, but unfortunately I had a little bit too much Casamigos too early in the game.
Yeah, I love to pour the wine into the glass and then drink out of the bottle. Oh,
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I mean, maybe a crazy take, but the Super Bowl sucked big old dick.
I don't think so, because you know why I liked it? I gotta give kudos to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I loved the return of defense. To see defense win a Super Bowl, I love defense. I got all fired up today. We're going to talk later about John Lynch. I was watching John Lynch do hits that would be he'd probably get arrested for making these hits now, but I loved Jason Pierre-Paul. Never fucking lost a playoff game in his career. He's been in the playoffs 3 times. He won a Super Bowl all 3 times, which lets you know how crazy the Giants.
You know what's cool is that now he can't win another Super Bowl. Otherwise, he won't be able to count them on his fingers.
I think he's got to have more than 4 fingers. I think he only lost.
No, dude,
1.
remember he blew up that fucking stick of dynamite in his hands.
Yeah, he
now
lost.
His hands are all like all crazy. His hands are constantly throwing up blood.
Dude, yeah, no, I loved that game just to watch defense completely take over, because I mean, I remember the Rams Patriots game. That was the most boring Super Bowl ever played.
That was last year?
No, that was like 2 or 3 years ago.
What was last year? 49ers Rams?
Yes. No, not Rams. 49ers Chiefs. Chiefs won the Super Bowl.
You're right. Yeah.
The year before that was the Patriots and the Rams. Yeah. But that was the most, but I guess there was a lot of defense in that game, but it was more just like shitty offense. But I got Tom Brady beat Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers, and Pat Mahomes.
Dude, Tom Brady did like a WWF style tournament of like champions to get there.
Like a Royal Rumble.
Dude, yes.
Yeah.
Nobody can say anything bad about Tom Brady in these playoffs right here.
Yeah, no, it's I mean, kudos to him. It's undisputed. I mean, I guess it's been undisputed, but this run is insane. Like, this is the nail in the coffin. Although I got to tell you one angle I'm sick of hearing already, because, you know, the Super Bowl happened on Sunday. We're recording this on Tuesday. It's coming out on Thursday. By the time Thursday rolls around, people are going to be tired of hearing about the Super Bowl. One thing you're going to be ear beaten by the end of this week is the idea that this has any impact on Bill Belichick's coaching ability, coaching legacy. Do you understand that the only reason Tom Brady is able to do what he did was because he had 20 years of tutelage under Bill Belichick? Tom Brady going to Tampa Bay and winning a Super Bowl is impressive, but it does not in any way tarnish what Bill Belichick has accomplished as a coach. And you're an idiot if you think so. And that's kind of the narrative everybody's running with, at least in the mainstream sports world.
No, in my mind, nobody's legacy is solidified or tarnished by these things, because everybody involved is already solidified. Yeah. Whether you're Patrick Mahomes, whether you're Tom Brady, whether you're Bill Belichick, whether you're anybody, do you know what I'm saying? Like any of these people involved. The person who is the most solidified as a real G is Lashawn Mccoy. Lashawn McCoy won his 2nd Super Bowl ring playing 0 snaps in either Super Bowl. That's what I'm talking about. That's who I want to be. I want to be there. I want to smoke the cigars. I want to drink the champagne. I want to get fucked up, but I don't want to fucking get tackled at all. Yeah. And that's what it's all about.
Oh, 100%. That's like being Brett Favre's backup.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, it's amazing.
Dude, it's great.
I've talked for years about Jason White, who's the 4th member of Green Day. He's been in Green Day for over 20 years. Do you know who he is? No, of
course not. All you know is Mike Dirnt and Trey Cool and Billy Joe Armstrong, exactly. not the guy who shreds it to the side in the dark.
Yeah, sometimes they literally keep him in the dark. But nowadays they kind of let him in on stage. But he's not in the photo shoots. He can walk down the street, do whatever he wants. And
is he like an auxiliary guy for them?
He was on every album. He plays all the leads. Like
I'm saying, is he like a Kike Hernandez or that guy we saw playing with Dwight Yoakam that played every instrument?
Oh yeah, kind of. Except it's just guitar. But yeah, no, he is like he's kind of a catch-all. He sings the harmonies. He plays the leads. Yeah, he does what you need. But they still have a keyboardist too. But I'm just saying, this guy has the best life. He's got the Shady McCoy life. Yeah. By the way, when I saw Shady post that picture of him with the cigar and I was like,
oh yeah, of course. Yeah, the perfectly clean jersey. Yeah, it's beautiful.
he's been in the league forever.
Yeah.
He was an Eagle forever, and then he was a Bill forever. Like, I had no idea that motherfucker was still in the league.
No idea he was on the Bucks. I thought he had retired to the West Side Crips for just to kind of to do his. Like, remember that shit where he got released from the Eagles because he was like a fucking rolling 20s Crip or something?
And there was rumors about Deshaun Jackson, same thing. And
was it Deshaun Jackson or was it Lashawn McCoy that got released?
They both got released, and they're both under very vague reasons.
Dude, Doug Peterson's what's the other guy? Doug Peterson and Chip Kelly are both racist, dude. Patrick Mahomes has never got his ass kicked the way he did on Sunday. I mean, sorry.
No, he hasn't. He had no offensive line. Both his tackles were
He was
out.
running for his life, and he was still throwing accurate passes.
There were some passes that he would run into a fray, and the ball would fly out of a pile perfectly and hit somebody on a dime in a weird spot.
They would drop it.
Yeah. It was.
Dude, at one point it seemed like he was in the upper deck of the stadium running from people and throwing it on a dime and then it getting dropped. Have you seen this stat? He ran for almost 500 yards horizontally.
Oh my God, dude.
That's unbelievable.
There were some scrambles that seemed a little counterintuitive to me where I was like, what
Yeah, at a point, it kind of seemed like it was his natural reaction to get the ball and just start scrambling because he
backwards. That's how I play Madden.
For sure. It was 100% Madden. On Madden, yeah, of course. You just start running backwards. I always get my ass kicked in Madden because I run this weird hurry up offense and I run the ball with the quarterback no matter who it is. And just,
I run every play like it's a bootleg. I just dart to the side.
Yeah. And then you're like, okay, now who's open? Where other people have a plan going into the play. And I feel like the way me and you play is just like, okay, get the ball, run to the sideline and see what happens from there.
Yeah, that's because I grew up on blitz. All right. I'm not trying to read defenses while I'm playing a video game.
Not at all. No. On Madden, I know who I'm throwing it to before I snap the ball. I don't care how many people are on them. I'm going to fucking throw it exactly to them.
Yeah, I'm not going to be like, oh, they're playing a one high. So that means there's no safety help on the left. So,
dude, I've gotten my ass kicked by actual football players on Madden 1,000,000 times because I'm like, okay, let's run an option here. And then we're just keep doing shit like that. Dude, so the Chiefs Patrick Mahomes was pressured over 35 times versus the Bucks being pressured, Tom Brady being pressured like 7 times.
Yeah, well, the Chiefs already had a real fucking impotent pass rush anyway, but Green Bay has a pretty effective. They don't get a lot of sacks, but they put a lot of pressure on the quarterback, and they were not pressing Brady at all. That offensive line, I mean, I
don't know what the deal was, dude.
That's just an amazing offensive line, and then also, what happens is when you get a big lead, you're no longer rushing, so the defense can just ball out on you because they know what you're going to do. So you just drop 2 safeties deep and you just fucking jailbreak on the quarterback. And because there's no fucking guessing, those 3 touchdowns right away, everybody who scored a touchdown in the Super Bowl was not on the team last year.
Dude,
every single touchdown.
The people who were scoring touchdowns were like, it was like a weird, like catwalk almost with like Antonio Brown, Gronk, like all those dudes.
Dude, there was a moment in the NFC Championship game that repeated itself in the Super Bowl where if you watch a highlight, and I'm sure nerds on YouTube have already done this, of every one of Gronk's catches during the regular season, and you watch how he's running, he's just lumbering and slow. And he had only one catch in the NFC Championship game, but he ran like a fucking 4.8. I mean, he bolted. And then like out of nowhere, he had speed for the last 2 games of the season. And I mean, I don't know, maybe he was pulling a Kawhi where he's just like, I'm only going to play at 20% for the season and save myself for the end. But dude, he all of a sudden out of nowhere was like 5 years ago speed. It was unreal.
Yeah, dude. Gronk, I mean, you can't discount how good he is, obviously, but it's funny that Gronk is to Brady a way a lot of these like old school famous comedians have had one feature their entire life. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where it's like, they're like, yeah, I mean, if I'm playing Madison Square Garden, I need that guy to go out and do 10 minutes.
Joe Bartnick?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, somebody like that. You need your Joe Bartnick. You need your that guy. Like, but it's different a little bit because, I mean, Gronk is like the fucking best tight end of all time.
Yeah, he's no feature tight end.
No, you can't discount how good he is. It's just like, and I understand what you're saying, because in some of those plays in that game, the way that he was creating separation was just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, he had some real speed. But anyway, you guys watched the game. You're sick of hearing about it. It was a
Yeah,
blowout.
you heard all about it. It's a blowout.
Yeah, our fans are just waiting for Green Bay to come back next year. I know that.
So yeah, they're waiting for Green Bay. All the people listening to this show are like, damn, dude, when is Green Bay gonna be playing again? I need more Aaron Rodgers to fucking Eddie Lacy or whoever is on the Green
Eddie
Bay.
Lacy. What the hell?
I don't know. I don't know
Eddie
who's
Lacy's
on the
been out of
Packers
league for
roster.
2 or 3 years.
Eddie Lacy is stuck in his house right now because he's so fat. He's got to get cut out of his house, dude.
It's so funny how he was getting bashed for being fat over and over again by people who are way fatter than him.
Oh, dude, yeah, that was the best thing. I'm like Brian Windhorse being like, he's real fat right now. He's just, there's no easy way to put it. He's fat. That's like their whole thing.
Yeah, dude. So the 2021 Hall of Fame class was announced, and
The GOAT, Peyton Manning.
yeah, he's your favorite player, isn't he?
I love Peyton Manning, dude.
Peyton Manning, I never really I never watched him that much. Isn't that crazy? I never paid that much attention to him.
I think what I love the most about Peyton Manning is obviously he's very good, but it's just the style of offense he ran that it was just build it as you go.
Yeah. I mean, I'll tell you the secret to his longevity was he invented snapping the ball with double zeros on the play clock. I mean, he was able to waste 25 minutes a game of just calling audibles. So like that reduced his hits by probably.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That dude, I imagine it must have been great to be an offensive coordinator for the Colts.
Oh my God. For somebody like Peyton Manning, who like, he extended his career by doing that, but also he just like had such a thorough understanding of playbooks and all this other shit that he was basically an offensive coordinator in his own mind. So if you're an offensive coordinator, you're for the Colts, you're just like, yeah, here's some
of offensive coordinators.
Yeah, you're like, here's some ideas. Here's what I think you maybe should do.
It'd be fun to be a passive aggressive offensive coordinator for Peyton Manning, where it's like, I mean, I think we should run a double hitch sluggo, but I'm sure you're going to do whatever the fuck you want to do. So why do I even talk?
Yeah, the offensive coordinator may as well be his girlfriend.
Yeah, Peyton Manning made it in 13-second conversation. That was how long it took to announce him. But before we get more into the Hall of Fame nominees, I wanted to talk to you about our man David Baker.
David Baker, the GOAT. I love David Baker.
One of the
Super Bowl.
One of the most jovial looking motherfuckers in the world,
dude.
He looks like
if you guys don't know who David Baker is, any of these videos where you see he's like what is his title? Do you know the NFL Hall of Fame?
He's the CEO of the NFL Hall of Fame.
So he's the guy who goes around to these different hotel rooms. And they have all these great videos of these like the knock scenes where he goes around and he knocks on the door of the players and it gives them the like right here. Brian has the Randy Moss one pulled up.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Let me back.
I cry to these videos once a month.
It's if you ever just want to sit down, have a good cry, get some toxins out, and really just fucking feel some emotions. This is what does it for me. I'm surprised it does that for you too. Here we go. Let's start with the Randy Moss.
Because this is going to be the beginning.
Wait, let me back up to the knock because it is the knock.
Because you hear Randy Moss, pause it. Randy Moss has more people in his hotel room for this than like a Saturday night La Quinta Inn party in like a bad neighborhood. Like, you know, so like in this hotel room is like a hotel room party going on.
Well, there's a reason for that. That's because the Canton organizes with the family behind the player's back. So they come up with a ruse, a reason, like a fake reason to have everybody together, knowing that the knock is going to happen. And then that way everybody can be there for the moment.
So Randy Moss doesn't know this moment is coming at all.
But the rest of the family does. It's like the most uplifting and practical jokers you could ever see.
Yeah. Is Randy Moss being like, maybe they're going to knock, maybe they're not, versus the family being like, they are coming today?
The family's going to tell him, hey, it's a birthday party for your cousin or whatever.
Oh, really? Interesting.
Yeah. He doesn't know. So, and you can tell, listen, let's just watch the Randy Moss.
Hey, Randy.
Yes, sir.
On behalf of the Pro Football Hall of Fame, it's my privilege to welcome you to Canton, Ohio. I want to thank you for all you've done for the game, for all you're going to do for the game.
By the way, he looks like the guy from Bar Rescue.
Yes, yes. I was trying to put my thumb on it. I was going to say he looks like Pete Rose that got stung by a bunch of bees, but Bar Rescue John Taffer is very good.
He looks like John Taffer. But another thing is, when a guy like that knocks on your door, this is the last thing you expect is good news.
Yeah,
Okay,
absolutely.
I want to thank you so much.
Look at this.
Because this is going to be the beginning of your journey, not the end of your football career.
No way. No way.
You ready?
Yes.
Welcome to Canton, Ohio.
By the way, that's Morton Anderson. And the reason why he's so old, you must be like, oh, he must be a late grab into the to the Hall of Fame. That motherfucker played till he was 48 years old. So he probably was a first ballot Hall of Famer. He was a kicker who played till he was 48 years old, 25 seasons in the league.
You're going to be enshrined as one of the best of all time. Okay.
Thank you.
He's probably the second kicker to get in, right? Jan Stenerud and then him. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
And then
the white guys are never as excited. You ever notice that?
the least excited one was Peyton Manning because he's like, yeah, I knew it.
Hey, sorry, give me 2 seconds. My bad.
Coming, but this I don't know who this one is. Let's see. Tyler.
Oh hell yeah, dude! I love it. You noticed right there the way that the last guy.
I don't think you're taking it the right way. No, the reason why these are so exciting is because Tyler Morton Anderson. I mean, Tyler is a cusp player. Like, there's no way it was like a shoe-in that Tyler is going to get to the NFL.
No, not at all.
Peyton Manning, it's like, it's a formality. He was in the Hall of Fame
absolutely
4 years before he retired.
But do you see what my thought, which I've watched a lot of these same videos, is that when it's black dudes, it's like there's a lot of people in there. It's a party. When it's white dudes, it's very calm. And it's like them and their like very, very, very close family in the room.
Well, how does Kevin Mawe fit into this?
He's somewhere in between.
Who's this one?
Steve Hutchinson.
I believe a receiver for the Seahawks. I'm not sure.
You see, it's literally just his wife and kid.
Look at him.
Welcome to Canton, Ohio, brother.
Oh, look how much that means. Yeah, we're getting goosebumps.
Oh, dude, it's just, I don't know what it is. I think it's just seeing these like, not just grown men, but like grown man gladiator style dudes,
Yeah, it's it's unbelievable. This Hall of Fame class particularly is really good. Like, I mean, I know that sounds stupid, but I guess we're getting into Hall of Famers that I grew up watching.
Yeah, absolutely. Your Peyton Mannings, your Calvin Johnson, your other like that type of guys.
Yeah,
it's crazy. I was thinking about it this week of how crazy it is that there's people like Calvin Johnson, people like Barry Sanders that never got an opportunity to really play outside of a failing system in Detroit. The way that Matt Stafford is going to get his opportunity to play outside of the failing Detroit system.
Well, I always talk about that, about how much I love the Lions players, because they were non-threatening to Green Bay, because, the Lions and Packers have been in the same division forever. And so I loved Barry Sanders. I loved Calvin Johnson. I loved Matt Stafford. The only line I didn't like was Ndamukong Suh, because he destroyed Aaron Rodgers' calf and he also stomped out Evan Dietrich Smith's groin.
Yeah, Ndamukong Suh is like a human monster truck.
Yeah, but now I like him. Shout out to him. He got a ring. He's a tackle for the Bucks.
The Bucks have so many players you didn't realize were there. I wouldn't be surprised if like just Johnny Manziel is like the fourth string quarterback on the Bucks, just because it's like, oh, I didn't know that, but that's interesting.
Ndamukong Suh was the only line I didn't like, but they were always so non-threatening, whereas the other players in the Green Bay's division, like John Lynch, who was a Tampa Bay Buck when there was an NFC Central, and my whole childhood, Green Bay and Tampa Bay were in the same division before there was four, and so John Lynch was annihilating Green Bay, so I never really liked him. Warren Sapp or Brian Urlacher, all these players were like players that I hated. But the Lions, I could just sit down and I'd be like, oh, that's cute. Calvin Johnson just caught a garbage fourth down touchdown. I love Calvin Johnson, dude, because he like changed the game, because you got to look at people like Terrell Owens and Chad Johnson. They came a few years before him as those big-bodied, fast receivers, but they were nothing.
They were nothing compared to him. I mean, they were big bodies and they were this and that, but they weren't like Calvin Johnson.
They weren't route runners. I mean, he had like amazing route running, but he also had those fucking giant hands. He was like Julio Jones is the closest thing we have to him now, but for some reason Julio Jones does not get touchdowns. I don't know why.
Yeah, Julio Jones, I feel like I haven't heard anything about him since that Falcons Super Bowl loss.
Yeah, no, he's quietly plugging away. But yeah,
like Calvin Johnson is like a LeBron James type.
Yeah, no, yeah. I mean, he would have fallen off if you also I got to give kudos to the NFL for putting him in the Hall of Fame, because he has done nothing but shit talk the NFL since he's gotten out, where he's like, they don't give a shit about players, they just care about the product on the field. He was up like, hell yeah, I smoked weed while I was in the NFL. It was the only thing that helped with the pain. And yeah, no, I'm surprised, you know, they let him in. Charles Woodson, I wanted to read his stats, dude, because some people in a group chat of mine thought he wasn't an NFL Hall of Famer.
Charles Woodson, he's what he's still the only defensive player to ever win the Heisman, correct?
Not only that, he's tied for the NFL history he's number one tied for the most touchdowns by a defensive player in the NFL.
That's
13 touchdowns.
Tied. Damn.
But dude, so Sporting News Player of the Year 1997. So straight out of high school already, you know, he was an All-American twice in high school. He won in 1997 for playing for Michigan. He won the Jim Thorpe Award, the Bronco Nagurski Award, the Walter Camp Award, and the Heisman Trophy Award, and the national championship. Plus, he beat out Peyton Manning, by the way, for that.
For the national championship?
No, for the Heisman.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And then in the NFL, he's on the all 2000s, all decade team. He's twice led the league in interceptions, NFL Defensive Rookie of the Year, NFL Defensive Player of the Year 2009 with the Green Bay motherfucking Packers, Super Bowl champion 2010 with the Green Bay motherfucking Packers, 4-time second team All-Pro, 4-time first team All-Pro. I mean, the motherfucker was good forever. I'm a little frustrated that his greatest years came with the Green Bay Packers. The only time
he went in as a Raider.
Yeah, I know he played 3-4 more seasons as a Raider, but those count as half seasons, honestly, because they were bullshit years. He played with Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers, and he won a Super Bowl and the defensive MVP as a Green Bay Packer. He should at least go in halvesies.
Can you do halvesies?
No, because you're not wearing a helmet in your bust. It's your face. So I don't know how
the best you can wear is a bandana, Deion Sanders style.
Yeah. A half bandana.
Yeah.
You know, but it's bronze, so you can't really see the color.
But it's like that bandana whenever they tied him together during the LA riots.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, you're 100% right. I feel like if you've ever played for the Packers, why wouldn't you go in the Hall of Fame as a Packer? Because there's no other franchise that matters as much. You know what I mean?
It's so shocking to me that you don't have a Packers tattoo. How do you not?
Who says I don't?
I mean, I've only seen 99% of your body, I think. So excuse me.
Asshole is the ear hole.
Yeah, it's just the G right on the tip of your dick.
John Lynch, by the way, you know what his when he was a Tampa Bay Buccaneer, they had a section in the Big Sombrero or whatever the fuck that stadium was called, where they would write the Lynch Mob. Do you think now, if he was in the league, that his fans would go with the name Lynch Mob?
No, I don't think so. I think they would go with like the John Squad or like something very lame. I think that, yeah, the longer we go into history, the lamer nicknames are going to get.
Yeah. So John was originally drafted by the Marlins out of high school as a pitcher.
Oh, interesting.
And yeah, he was drafted by the Marlins as a pitcher, and then he went to Stanford as a quarterback. And then they switched him to safety. Could you imagine a quarterback who could hit like that? I mean, the guy was the hardest hitting dude in the league, but he went to safety. He was an All-American. He led them to their second 10-win season ever in their history, and they won in the Blockbuster Bowl.
dude, the other day, me and because Kelly, my girlfriend, for some reason, just like has had this case, like this bookshelf at her old place and at our place now with a bunch of DVDs on it that we just never watch. So we were clearing them out the other night. We were kind of organizing them by like we wanted to keep a few out, just like some like cool classics. And there was this movie like Drag Me to Hell or some lame movie like that.
Yeah, I saw that in the theaters.
Yeah, we went to put it away, and then I turned it around, and I saw on the back that it had a sticker that it was a movie. I think it was a movie rental from Blockbuster that was never returned. So it had like a Blockbuster sticker on it. So we were like, "Oh shit, we got to keep this one out."
Oh hell yeah! No, that wasn't Drag Me to Hell then, because I saw that like in the modern times.
Oh damn, dude. Yeah, it was some lame movie that you probably fucked to in the movie theater. You ever fucked in the movie theater?
I've done other stuff, never full penny.
Dude, I ever tell you about the first time I fingered a chick?
No, now seems like a
Dude,
good time.
it was during one of the best movies of all time,
Titanic.
Gran Torino.
No, that's like in Seinfeld when he sneaks away to make out with his girlfriend and he goes to Schindler's List and makes
Yeah,
out.
dude, literally, it's just like, hey, you fucking, and then just me like, yeah, dude, Gran Torino during Clint Eastwood's big musical number.
Dude, when I was reading about John Lynch winning the Blockbuster Bowl, it made me want to look up. There's a website that has all the bowls ever in history. And I took some of my favorite. First of all, I want to start with my number one favorite, which was the Duke's Mayo Bowl, because anybody listening from the South knows that Duke's makes the best mayonnaise in the world. So I didn't actually look up where that bowl was, but man, it made me, I actually texted my friend and asked him to mail me some Duke's Mayo.
Duke's Mayo is legit. I've had Duke's Mayo before.
It's the best mayonnaise on earth. Let's see here. It was in Charlotte, North Carolina. And it is still, that's the name of the bowl now.
Duke's Mayo?
Yeah.
Oh, who played it this year?
Let's see. Wake Forest versus Wisconsin. That's a good bowl.
Yeah, why not, dude? Dude, you see that Amy Schumer was in some Mayo commercials in the Super Bowl this year? Good for her. A fucking match made in heaven, my brother. Dude, imagine getting a check on it that says Best Foods Mayonnaise.
Dude, I would be so fucking happy.
Yeah, are you kidding me?
Yeah,
Best Foods Mayonnaise.
Kellogg's had some of my favorite bowl names. The Kellogg's
the cereal bowl, right?
No, Cheez-It Bowl, which is
beautiful. Yeah, of course.
Which on their Wikipedia or on the website, it wasn't Wikipedia. The website, I looked it up. It said Cheez-It Bowl 2018 to present, comma, now in Florida.
It's funny that everything is now in either Florida or Texas. Every big sporting event, dude. The Super Bowl was packed.
Well, I think you texted me that. I think you got a little bit fooled by the cardboard cutouts.
Oh, you're right. Probably yes.
They
did their job. They looked.
Goddamn, there's a person in every one of them fucking seats.
Dude, it looked packed. And
skinny too.
Those motherfuckers are looking good, dude. I think that it was like the scene in Home Alone where they had one guy with a bunch of strings at the top of the stadium, making it look like all the people were moving around. And it's just moving all these guys, just a handful of rope, just like moving constantly back and forth.
This is also a current bowl, Kellogg's Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl.
It's his son, or it's SUN?
SUN. The cereal is called Frosted Flakes, but it's
why are they going straight Tony the Tiger Bowl?
For most evil bowl name, the Lockheed Martin Armed Forces Bowl.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, that's not good. That's not good. That's literally like the Moderna coronavirus vaccine bowl.
Yeah, the Satan Satanic Devil Bowl.
Yeah, that's all of those. That reminds me of whenever you see like an Adopt a Highway every now and again that's like adopted by like the atheists of Broward County, Florida or something. Like that's what that reminds me of.
CIA installed dictator coup bowl.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. The get him in their backyard before they get us in ours bowl.
Least catchy name of a bowl in history. California Raisin Advisory Board California Bowl.
Jesus Christ.
California twice, by the way. The California Raisin Advisory Board California Bowl.
Why would you say? Imagine some people have the most boring jobs that make them $1 trillion a year, like somebody who sits on a raisin advisory board.
I'll tell you what, you look at them grapes. I'll give you the best advice you ever had in your life. You let those grapes sit in the sun, they'll become raisins.
Watch this. Just sets one in the sun. Come back to that.
Filthiest bowl name, the Motel 6 Cactus Bowl.
Oh, that rock. The Cactus Bowl.
The Motel 6. Could you imagine putting a black flag on that turf and there's just cum all over it?
God, yeah.
There's
It literally
bed
should be called the
bugs.
Motel 6 Cum Bowl. Like, why would you just call it the Cum Bowl?
Cum stain bowl.
Yeah.
And then last one is my favorite one, which is the EV1.com bowl. Do you know what EV1 means?
No, I'm thinking Ashley Madison.
That'd be great if the Ashley Madison bowl.
The Ashley Madison, you sure are home late bowl. The Ashley Madison, where have you been bowl?
Every player uses a fake last name for the bowl.
Yeah. Dude, remember that time we knew this guy who met his wife. Well, no, there's Ashley Madison, and then what's the dating website for when you're cheating on your wife? Oh, Ashley Madison is it.
Yeah, that is Ashley Madison.
But I'm thinking of Adam and Eve. Remember that guy was like, yeah, I met my wife on ashleymadison.com, and then his wife was trying to fuck you all night?
Yeah, no. Oh, yeah. So EV1 is electric vehicle one. It's the Ford or Chevy. It's the first electric car ever.
Oh, wow.
They spent $1 billion on it, came out like 96, 97. And due to pressure from the oil industry, they did not sell the cars. They only leased them, and they demanded every single one of them back, and they put them through basically a shredder. They annihilated the electric cars.
That's how it's done. That's how it's done, son. That's how my daddy keeps his job.
People loved these cars too. And they worked fine. There was no issues. But there's a documentary called Who Killed the Electric Car? And that car is the EV1. So I thought it was funny that there was an EV1.com bowl, which I don't know who played in that. Let me see. I wonder, probably some discredited college. What was that?
Probably.
Fraser
What was that college? What was that college that black dude would come on the commercial and be like, hey, come on. You need to go back to school, right? That dude in the parking lot. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
There was one of those colleges that's like in the parking lot of a mall. That's like, hey, look, you need a degree and you at home fucking up and beating your kid.
No, I don't remember that one.
Dude, there's a million of them.
TCU versus Iowa State.
No, that's not bad. My girlfriend went to TCU. She said it was a nightmare.
The Horned Frogs, dude.
Yeah, she said there was a lot of horn going around, dude.
Texas Christian University.
Dude, she said it wasn't so Christian.
I tell you what, there's a lot of horns, ain't a lot of Christians.
Dude, is there anything else you want to say about the bowls?
No, those are just my favorite bowl names, some of the highlights.
Those are great. I'm glad you put those together because I really did enjoy that. What I got of last few things, I wanted to give a major shout out to Pedro Gomez, who died this week. Are you familiar with Pedro Gomez?
The writer, yeah.
The writer, the announcer mainly.
But you sent me that text, and my heart read it as Pedro Martinez, and I almost had a heart attack. And it's never a good feeling when you're like, it's like whenever you watch documentaries about World War II, and they're like, yeah, my buddy next to me, my best friend in the world's guts were next to me. And my first thought was, thank God it wasn't me. And I've felt guilty ever since. I feel guilty for this guy because I had a moment of relief that it wasn't Pedro, because Pedro Martinez bloated up 2 seconds after he left the league. And I was like, I don't know how he's living, but I mean,
the fried chicken and beer from the Red Sox clubhouse caught up to everybody. I don't know if
he already shot David Ortiz, and luckily he survived that. So let's, by the way, if you guys are going to take out another one of the 03 Red Sox, aim for Kurt Schilling next time.
Dude. Yeah. So Pedro Gomez, I mean, when I was a kid, I watched Baseball Tonight religiously. Like, I worshipped baseball when I was a young child, especially like to an unbelievable Asperger's level extent. So I've seen Pedro Gomez was the Web Gems guy forever. His voice is burned into my brain. I mean, 25 World Series, 20 All-Star games. Like, he's been around forever.
Web Gems must be where you developed your love for Omar Vizquel as well.
Absolutely. Dude, I have such an affinity for that group of ESPN baseball people. You're Peter Gammons, you're Joe Morgan, Peter Gammons, Carl Ravitch, Pedro Gomez, and then for some reason off the top of my head, the guy who would always announce with Joe Morgan. I can't think of his name off the top of my head. In all the video games, especially in the MLB video games, there are guys, those guys' voices are burned into my head.
Yeah, there's this one baseball game, and I watch it on YouTube a lot, where Joe Morgan and whoever the other guy is announcing, and Hank Aaron just pops in, and then he ends up staying for like 4 innings.
Yeah, that's Tim Kirkjian is in that one. There's a video, Tim Kirkjian, I saw him talking about when Hank Aaron died, about how that was like the highlight of his life, and he was just like, could not believe that
Hank Aaron had a baseball bat in the broadcasting booth, and he showed how he held the bat wrong. It's so fucking cool.
Yeah, there's if you go back and watch that, if it's the Tim Kirkjian one that I'm thinking of, Tim Kirkjian is like looking at him like he cannot believe that there was like a big thing on the internet where it's like, find you somebody who looks at you like Tim Kirkjian looks at Hank Aaron.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of John Miller.
Yes.
So what this really brought out of me was that what I was thinking a lot about was how badly I would fuck up a legendary call.
Yeah.
In your sense of like, in a year that has been improbable, the impossible, or like I was watching the Barry Bonds 756 the other night, and it's like, Bond stands alone. Like, do you think those are planned in advance? Or those dudes are just like
said in the shower 4,000 times? Yeah, no, those are workshopped.
You know, there's just like, there's a million, especially in baseball. I feel like there's a million of those more than any other sport.
The only person who probably did it purely off the cuff his whole life was probably Vin Scully.
Yeah.
Vin Scully was
dude, there are so many of those. I mean, there's a new home run champion of the world, and his name is Henry Aaron. Like, there's
a curse is broken.
Dude, there's a million. And it's like, I feel like I would fuck one of those up so bad. Like, I would like, especially, I mean, you've listened back editing this podcast. I've listened back to us. Me and you are both such bumbling Joe Biden stuttering idiots that it's like, if me and you tried to make one of those beautiful calls, we would just be like, it would be awful.
I would lose my train of thought. Yeah. I mean, I spend a lot of time laughing at those Joe Biden things, but
hey man,
I mean, listen, if he's got Alzheimer's, so do I.
I mean, he's a bumbling idiot, and so are both of us. So that's why I feel like
we're
it's
bumbling
okay.
idiots. He's got to be smarter than us. He has to be.
Oh, of course. But
yeah.
he has a reason to be bumbling, where me and you are just kind of dumb.
Yeah. I mean, he's like trying to appease like every lobbyist, and he's trying to play all the sides and be Mr. Central. So of course you're going to stumble then. We have no allegiances. We could say whatever we want and still foot right in the fucking mouth.
Yeah. Where it's especially making the clips and the highlights. There's so much cutting out of us being like, like just literally
scratch CDs, dude.
It's so funny, man. All right, dude, you got anything else you want to start wrapping up?
Just RIP to Marty Schottenheimer.
Oh, Marty Schottenheimer. Damn, dude, a lot of people are going right now, dude.
Great glasses. He wore the kind of glasses that like in a movie where like a hot girl is a nerd and she just takes those glasses off and then she's hot. Those are the kind of glasses Schottenheimer wore.
Dude, RIP Marty Schottenheimer, RIP Pedro Gomez. Pedro Gomez said in 25 World Series, 20 All-Star games, you know what his favorite moment was the Cubs Steve Bartman game. Said he's never seen anything like it.
That was his favorite moment.
Yeah.
Did you see OJ Simpson's tribute to Marty Schottenheimer?
No, I did see OJ that got the vaccine though. Good for him.
It was pretty funny. OJ goes, I want to say rest in peace to Marty Schottenheimer. We played together my rookie year. He was not very good. So he was not very good. He goes, he didn't have a whole lot of foot speed, but he was one of the smartest players I ever played with, and blah, 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 blah. But it was so funny because think he's loading up for a super compliment. He was not very good.
Dude, somebody had a really funny tweet where it's just like OJ living his life. And somebody was like, man, how does OJ live such a happy life when I'm constantly thinking about feeling bad about something dumb I said 15 years ago?
It's called sociopathy.
Sociopathy? Man. I've been watching that Cuba Gooding Jr. show again with OJ Simpson, and man, did Cuba
Nobody in the
Gooding
world
Jr.
calls it the Cuba Gooding Jr. show.
You know what I mean? Cuba Gooding Jr. did that. You ever seen the Steve Harvey interview with Cuba Gooding Jr. where he's promoting that show? And he goes, listen, OJ killed everybody in that driveway. And Cuba Gooding's like, I don't. If Steve Harvey is such a psycho, he's like, no, it's okay, it's all right. You don't got to say nothing. Who else did it?